Yes, everybody, us in the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. You see the headline: official club statement regarding David Moyes. He will be leaving at the end of the season. The club put a announcement out on their official channels at 6:00 UK time to say West Ham can confirm David Moyes will leave the club by mutual consent at the end of the season. David Moyes will depart after 4.5 years in charge at London Stadium, during which time he secured two top titles. David Sullivan said, on behalf of everyone at West Ham, I'd like to offer our sincere thanks and gratitude to David for the contribution he's made as football manager during his time. David's been responsible for a period of great progress and success. David has been an absolute professional to work with, and he'll leave with our greatest respect and good wishes. He deserves to be held in the highest esteem for his service he has given to West Ham, and we wish him all success in the future. By making the announcement now, it allows David to get the send-off he deserves for the West Ham supporters and for all of us to show our appreciation to him in the final game of the season, against the home game against Luton Town. So there we go. As we anticipated, it looks like it. Well, it doesn't look like it's there. It's there in black and white. David Moyes has. It's official now. Will be leaving at the end of the season. There isn't any. There was not speculation, but there was potential. We know that was the case really for Fabrizio Romano. Came out quite early on. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday to declare that it was over for the Moyes era, and it looks like Lopetegui was in line to take over. But it's. I think when you have a situation that we've had, for example, all the. It's been on the BBC website today. It was on, the BBC front page website about Lopetegui agreeing to become West Ham manager. Now, obviously, that's not finalised. True. In principle, there is some sort of agreement, but to be honest, I think that is the best case scenario. Rather than because we know we've got a hell of a rebuild job happening, coming in soon. We know we've got that, and there'll be uncertainty. Hopefully, that will potentially give the likes of some of the academy players who are potentially holding off, not necessarily signing new deals because unsure of what's happening. But that gives some clarity now, which is clarity that, to be honest, I would have preferred to have at the beginning of this season. But it has been official. So anyone just tuning in, I'm just trying to. I'm just going to try and put the thing up to save me having to, because I'm a bit of a lazy bugger today. Let's go. Where's my full screen? There we go. Let's share the screen. Let's share my screen. There we go. So club statement. Let's go a bit wider so we can read it. I'm sure you've already looked at it on the website. But yeah, club statement. West Ham can confirm David Moyes will leave by mutual consent at the end of the season when his contract expires. David will depart after 4.5 years in charge. Moyes has said, I've really enjoyed working with everyone at West Ham. I'd like to thank the board for giving me the opportunity to manage this great club. Other takeaways. There's this statement, which I think we had. It was almost like they were forced into a corner, I think, because of everything that's come out with Fabrizio Romano and Guilherme Balaguez on the BBC website. Something had to happen because not only in terms of sort of what's happening with this team moving forward, but in terms of the game on Saturday. It could have been. Obviously, with the Chelsea game, it does make it a bit more of a what's the word, amicable game on Saturday. So, by making this announcement, it allows him to get the send-off he deserves. I think it also means that they're not going to pay out the rest of his contract, so he's with us for the next 2 games. But at least we know. Moyes has said, I've enjoyed 4.5 brilliant years at West Ham, and the club is in a strong position than when I returned in 2019. We'll probably talk about that and dissect that at a later date. When I joined West Ham for a second time, the club was 1 place above the relegation. It was a terrific journey to achieve 3 consecutive seasons in Europe. After leaving the club to safety, we guided the team to finish the 6th and 7th in the Premier League, and I was delighted when we won the Europa League title last June. I'd like to thank all the players for the support and all the success they have achieved over the last 4.5 years. I've really enjoyed working with everyone at West Ham, and I'd like to thank the board for giving me the opportunity. I wish my eventual successor, what a weird way, my eventual successor, the directors, the players, the staff, the fans, and everyone at West Ham, all the very best in the future. The recruitment process for David's successor has begun. We know it's begun. The club will be making no further comment until a new appointment is confirmed. There you have it. The club taking to bank holiday Monday, where everyone's probably still in the pub in the beer garden to put out news. As I said, 6 o'clock that was announced, and I think they had to make an announcement. And yeah. That's it. So the end of so it is official. Where we was all assuming it's now official. The club have said it. I don't think the timing is of surprise. I think they were forced into the timing. I think this has all been accelerated a couple of weeks, in my opinion. I think Lopetegui. I've got to say it right. I've got to learn how to say it. Hopefully, well, he might be the manager. Hey, coach. So. For me, Julien Lopetegui. I think because of the Bayern Munich connection, the Bayern Munich inquiry, particularly when you look at sort of the runners and riders in terms of the ones we were probably most likely. Ruben Amorim basically didn't want to join us and has committed to winning his time at Sporting Lisbon, or until a decent job comes up, basically. And obviously West Ham wasn't for him. Fonseca looks like he was always earmarked for the AC Milan job. Graham Potter looks like he's going to Ajax. Arne Slot's gone to Liverpool. So I think we had to accelerate the discussions for Julien a little bit quicker than maybe we anticipated. Maybe the anticipation was going to be some sort of announcement at the end of the season, or directly at the end of the season. Saves me a job, actually, because I was a bit worried that it was all going to happen when I was on holiday. So I don't have to worry about that now. Woo! Phew! I was going to have to jump off my sun lounger and to record a live in Dubai. But so that's not happening now, so that's okay. Every cloud. But yeah, I mean, it's a decision. I think it's the right decision to take. Arguably, it might have been more gentlemanly to have made a decision a bit earlier, particularly with Ruben Amorim and people like that getting involved. The fallout between Moyes and Steindl, the fact that Steindl was banned from basically being in the same room as Moyes pretty much. But it gives us the opportunity to, enjoy the next couple of games. I know as much as you can enjoy Man City, it probably David Moyes probably win those 2 bloody games. No Moyes. It's just that stupid sort of like mentality. He's already got the worst defensive record we've had since the relegation season of Avram Grant. And now, as the actual announcement says, it moves on to the recruitment process for his successor. Now, we know old Loopy. We know old Julesy Loopy. He seems to be the front runner, and I think that will probably be confirmed, to be honest. It's not 100% done yet, granted. But it does seem to be pretty far down the line. For it to be announced on the BBC website is usually, they don't put rumours. It's front page. So I'm sure we can assume that we'll get old Loopy coming in next probably in the next. Well, it might be announced in a couple of weeks' time, potentially. But we'll wait and see. Let's go for some comments. Obviously, there's a lot of comments. Never a dull moment, West Ham. I was thinking a nice bank holidays Monday. I could chill out. I was gonna do some. I don't know what I was gonna do. Put my feet up. We've watched Clarkson's Farm, and then no. West Ham once again. Thank you. Thank God. Well, I think for me now, it's a retrospective look at his time at West Ham. Yes, they spent a lot of money. Yes, we've had relative success. And as I said, I think whoever, if it is Loopy coming in, then he inherits a club which actually has a scouting setup. It has a technical department. It has an analytical department. All these things that we didn't have when Moyes came in. When Pellegrini and Huselos were in, they cleared all the cupboards. The cupboards were bare, and we had to build that infrastructure from the ground up. He comes into a side now. Whoever the new head coach is comes into a West Ham side which has a well established and a very great, really good crop of academy players to potentially bring in. You've got the setup with Mark Noble in terms of the pathway. You've got Tim Steindon, and you've got one of the best analytical minds in the game in terms of Maximilian Kahn, in terms of that. So there's a lot of pluses. Is the only slight fly in the ointment is the lack of European football might detract from being able to get those top players. But the types of players Tim is going to be bringing in aren't going to be the upper echelon players. These are going to be guys who can develop into good players, who have all the attributes, who may be from the not the unfashionable, but outside the top 5 European leagues, for example. Evening, Glenn. Hope you're well. Nave, hope you're well. Let's go. Good night. God bless, and thanks for coming. Next, indeed. Evening, Howard. I'm pleased. I will get behind the new manager, head coach. That is £1, please, for the food bakes. I expect to see a screenshot. I think it's exactly. Thank you. Because when all is said and done, we'll always have Prague. And we will. And as me and Anton said this morning, there's always those moments in football. Those are the moments you live for. Those are the moments you support your club for those moments. They don't happen very often for some clubs like us, but they happened, and it happened once. And that's all. I was all blubbering like an idiot because that was once. That was the one time I wanted us to sort of be on top. Granted, it was a third. The third lowest, the bottom lowest European competition, but still, we got that. And you'll always have those images of Stratford, the open top bus parade, and regardless of what you think of Moyes' tenure, he gave us that, and that to me will always have a place in my heart. Same as Anton, Anton, he'll always have that moment of him and Freddie in Stratford watching the open top bus parade, and that's what it's all about, football. Yes, they do, because so under whatever. Let's put some respect on Moyes' name. A first trophy. That's lots of years of pain comes to a natural end, and let's move forward. Exactly that. I was getting worried as the MSN was saying the club had no class, meaning Sully didn't like bad press. Yep, I don't think this was the plan at all. I do not think this was the plan for this to happen at this time. But I think things have been linked out, things have been leaked, things have been, in terms of the progression of the appointment. And I genuinely believe that because of the fact that we had the situation with maybe Bayern Munich coming in for Lopetegui, it accelerated the timeline. And it seems there was we were assuming this would be the case, and I think actually the club have grown some balls and done the right thing. Would I prefer that if they did it a few weeks ago? Yeah, I would, because I think we needed that. We needed that sort of a little bit of not closure, but we needed that sort of understanding of what was going on. We heard a lot of reports about a lot of, as I said, a lot of academy players, a lot of people worried about what necessarily is going to happen next in terms of signing. We're coming to a situation now, the time period now in terms of the academy, where they are very much looking at the retained and offering new contracts to certain players, and that makes and this sort of gives a bit of clarity. Obviously, until we have the official announcement of who will be our next head coach, it does look like Loopy, but still, we're a little bit further down the line than we were 35 minutes ago. Exciting times. Best news ever, says Wayne. I haven't liked his style of football. Appreciate what he's helped with the club. However, this is the right direction. I agree, Jackie. So what happens discussing at the end of the season as Moyes? That's what I mean. That's why I think this has been exaggerated. This has moved quicker than they thought. The words Sullivan and Class could not be used. Good evening, sign up. You're well. What happens to Nolan? Well, we don't know yet. New manager comes in. Nolan, Heitinger, Billy McKinley, Mark Robson. I think Mark Robson would have a job going back into the academy setup. That's not a problem. He's still very much heavily involved in that. Obviously, was it Angus? Isn't the other guy as well? They brought in a new guy. We'll see. We'll see. Someone like Lupe. Oh, I'm going to call him. That's his new nickname now. So J Lee, not J Lings, J Loops. Someone like J Loops, he might want someone like Kevin Nolan as an enforcer. I don't know. Just been on the golf course with Super. Did you get? It was raining. Chill out in the P rain. Momi is moving on unless they find a job for him elsewhere. Off to Ipswich to his chicken dance would be great for the youth team. No space for him though, mate. No space for him in the youth team. Loopy and Frank Lampard has pulled in. Yeah, exactly. Julian's had a year off. He has indeed. Thanks for the memories, but it's now time for change. Next question is, how many years will Loopy get? I hope no more than 2. I think we'll have to wait and see. I think he has a short term, by all accounts, the contract the Moyes has options was 2 year, and he went a 5 year. So hopefully, I think you keep managers on a relatively short leash, but you don't let this happen. I think if managers doing well, they deserve extra. Keep going with extra years, because we've had a real issue this season. I think when it's come to that team spirit, playing for the manager. Because would you play for a manager if you know he's going to bugger off at the end of the summer? Whoever comes in next, be that Lopetegui, starts using our academy boys. As and when, I agree, Jacqueline. I think, we, as I said this afternoon, Loopy is not against playing the youth team or youth players. Unfortunately, when he was during his time at Wolves, when he turned up, all the youth players, all the half decent ones, were already sort of loaned out, but he still played them. Moyes is legend for his cheese. Can't say I'm very grateful. Don't smile because it happens. Smile because it's over. Can't believe he's gone. Cry for 3 days. I'm not ashamed to say. Me too, Howard. I'm even thinking about it now. I start tearing up. How old are you, Russie B? I am 21 plus VAT and a bit. Just arrived. What's occurring? DJ Painkiller is the club officially announced that David Moyes will be leaving at the end of the season. Why do we struggle with his name? It's not hard. Lopetegui. It's Lopetegui. But I like to call him Loopy. I really don't think buying came in. Yeah, exactly. And it's worked. Quite possibly, Ross, and it's worked. What about the Bournemouth coach? Means you've got to pay. Not going to happen. Hopefully Johnson gets a deal. That's going to be interesting to see now in terms of the things like Johnson. There's still discussions about Devine and Barmer. I mean, I don't think his heart's in it, to be honest, at the moment. But it gives some sort of, and surely now it means that Tim can take over and start these negotiations now. Hello, I hope you're well. Think new ideas, time to move forward. Respect to Moyes, indeed. Evening, please. And I'm starting to feel hope spring up again. Indeed. Thanks for all your your accomplishing the 10. Good luck with your future endeavours, indeed. If Loopy works well and knows, we could become a major force. Mark these words. That's what I've been saying, Montana. If he comes in, or whoever comes in, will be as head coach. And I know I keep saying this, and people go, "Oh, it's the same thing." It is not. A manager manages everything. Moyes is the West Ham manager. I mean, when your subordinate, so to speak, can veto your decisions, that doesn't work well. And that's what Moyes has always had in his contract. If Loopy comes in, then he comes in as a head coach, as Fabrizio Romano mentioned. So he will be coaching the team, as we've said, and I've said it till I'm blue in the face. When you look at someone like Craig Dawson, granted, Craig Dawson had just signed for them, but he said that he was a good man. He stood, you could feel his passion. He stood on the touchline and felt like another player. You can feel his passion, and that's what we've been hearing from players who he's coached. He's a very good manager. But then again, we might not get him. It's not done. It's not done yet. Loopy has his own staff. Don't doubt we'll stay with anyone. We'll wait and see. 3 years Max will get. And actually, Max is the first one I wanted to bring in. Max Kilman. End of an era. Didn't like Lopetegui. But we'll back him indeed. 2-year contract, proper middle ground. Weak move, in my opinion. Check Loppy's wiki, and someone already added West Ham manager, so it looks like he's been a manager. He's not a manager's head coach. Indeed. She popped in and popped out. But will he still have mostly Moyes players? Well, I mean, there will be a mass clear out. We know he'll be wanting to bring in, or Tim will be wanting to improve this squad. There's a number of players who are towards the end of their contracts. There's players we can sell who aren't performing. And I imagine Loopy will have a view and Tim will have a view. And hopefully they will well together. Loopy has worked under a director of football at majority of his clubs. So he's used to that dynamic. And that is a massive thing because Moyes wasn't. Are you still? Yes, I am, my friend. Yes, I am. Moyes to Bayern Munich. You've heard it here first. Not everyone, but with joy. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and get behind him. Look, at the end of the day, the poor lad, he hasn't even signed. He's not official yet. Might not even be him. But we're already in a situation where we're like, that's it. Relegation. He's a good coach. He's a good coach. Yes, he's not, as I said, he's not the shiny Ruben Amorim, but Ruben Amorim doesn't want to come to West Ham unless we pay him a shitload of money. His motivations aren't that. Loopy has always, since he left the Wolves job, wanted another Premier League job. He's been continuing to learn English. He's always fancied the West Ham job. He was pictured back in November watching the West Ham game, the Arsenal game, at London Stadium in the Cup where we beat them. That shows he's been interested in this for a while. And so I think it's, I want someone who wants the job, not someone who we forced to. Too often not, we've overspent in wages, bringing in players who maybe aren't the right players and they don't want to join us, but we pay them a lot and they come to us. So that's what I want. Do you think the club will go forward if... Not throwing just yet. Who's the biggest Tony Khan taking pile drivers on TV? Do you think we'll fit into the Loopy? Alvarez definitely, because going back to his Sevilla days, he played Fernando as a CDM, and he basically plays a very similar role to how Alvarez plays. In terms of Aguerd, I think they like a Loppy side. Loppy, I'm going to call him Loppy. Loppy sounds better now. A Loppy side is very much plays from the back, so someone like Aguerd would be an asset. Will the Nesri start again? Indeed. Loopy on the telly. Coach, indeed. Too late. You've got to put a pound in. Question is, of course I will be. I really hope he's behind the Lopetegui. Apparently he is. According to David Ornstein, he headed up this and he'd done due diligence on it. So there we go. Last few years, poor Premier League results, the slowest in his squad. 2 years, unfortunately, he's undoing the good times. Should have gone at the end of the. I mean, Jamie, I've said many times. For me, he's not the one who should have made that decision. You never. Why would you leave a job that's well paid? No, you're going to get sacked. So if he gets sacked, he gets his payout. So that was a Sullivan error. And as I said a million times, he wants the West Ham job. Others don't. I prefer who wants it in. My partner's an Arsenal fan, but he was saying this morning that people shouldn't underestimate. I don't think we should underestimate Loppy at all. I think he's someone who could, if he comes in again, it's not 100%, Not 100% agree, Jetflow. Don't worry. But I think someone who brings in whoever comes in has to be the right man for the job. Now, in terms of Loopy, he's coming in. Whoever comes in will come to the side. So it is imperative that he has a really good man management style. To be honest, someone like Slav, he was really that's what you want in this system. That's what you want. You want Tim to just do the recruitment and the football business side, and just let Loppy just concentrate on that team. We need to bring back a sense of team spirit, which we haven't had this season, and I think arguably we probably didn't have most of last season as well. So that's what I want and I want to sort out the bloody defence straight away. Because if, as I said, I've said it on someone's comments to our video this afternoon, if we concede 2/3 of the goals we do next season, we'll be in Europe. No problem at all. Everton, bring back Moyes, please. Oh, okay. Young Hammer in the background. Did you ever take her to a game? Yes. Now, unlike many of you, she was at the under-21 game on Friday. What was the score?
I don't remember.
What was the score?
1-4.
No.
4-1.
4-1, you see? 4-1. You see, she knows. Better get him in early, indeed. And talks all about West Ham and David Moyes leaving, indeed. £100 as Clapfish will get a Loopy's case straight away. No, I don't think they will. I think they'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Eventually. Other good could become available next few weeks. Should we wait a few weeks to make sure we get it right? I think this process has been going on for longer than a couple of weeks. I'll be honest. I think this process has probably been going on since the beginning of the year. And it's not a... I just think the announcement of it has been accelerated because of leaks, maybe. Where that leaks come from, I don't know. Fabrizio Romano doesn't tend to get leaks from David Sullivan. I think Tim might have leaked that out to Fabrizio, maybe, or maybe Loppy's agents to accelerate the process. We don't know. Surely Stein and Loop. I like the way we're using Loopy already. We've already got a nickname for him. Hasn't even signed. I've had a long talk about formations. Totally agree. Two up to does hit the like button. Just give it a like. Thank you very much. Thought we were going to get a young head coach. Will be 58 in August. He certainly will be. I think that was the shiny thing. Would have been nice, but hasn't worked out. For what? For whatever reason. Oh, okay. Captain changing needed. Oh God. Most definitely. Happy days. I thought Sullivan has announced it to avoid fans. Yeah, I think he has. And I think that was one of the reasons. But also I think in terms of the stuff around Bayern Munich and that conversation, I think has been accelerated quite cleverly by Loopy's agents. Moyes to Julien Loeb. Yeah, exactly. Well, Ronnie, good luck to your son. Good luck to you. I remember all you lot celebrating being top of the league after about 6 games, wasn't it? That worked out well for you. I'm not going to do a call, so I've got to go in a minute, Damien. Thank you, mate. Let's hope this will also mean we're moving away from transfer late in the minute. Well, it means we can start. Still hoping the Loopy deal has been sorted as a backup to another target. Nah. Loopy is the furthest along, but the deal's not over the line yet. Yeah, you're totally right. It's not finished, not finalised yet. Not finalised yet at all. Let's hope this all means indeed. Ungrateful fans. What do you want? Top 2? Heard that Amorim lost the job to Liverpool, not because of it. Yeah, that's what I heard. He was rigid on this 3-4-3 formation he plays, and he doesn't deviate away from it, which is fair enough. That's his mantra. But Arnie was a bit more. What was that?
What are you doing?
What did I do?
Piss
off. Anyway, as long as we stay up, Hazard, Loop's a safe choice, not my favourite, but at least he does a good mid press. Well, apparently it's the high block. It's not a low block, it's a high. No statement would have meant no send off because the fans will still give it even now, and he knows it. Do you think this will unite the fans, or there's still some? There will be toxicity, Ludders. I think there always will be now. There always will be, and there's nothing I can't unless he comes in and play and there'll always be people who will be pro and against the manager. Or pro against the head coach in this instance, and I think you'll always have that. I think social media just exacerbates that a little bit more. Yeah, I think you'll always have it. Maybe not so much degree, not for the start of the season, but as soon as there's any sort of f up, that's it. The knives will be out. But that's just modern day football, though, isn't it? Yeah. Unfortunately, it's just modern day football. Let's get a few more, then we're going to go. Wanted the more Fonseca, but they're Champions League coaches. I agree, and by the sounds of it, everyone didn't want to come to us. That's what European trophies do to the fan base. Is one season enough time to give Lupi or any other coach a chance? I think there will be a bounce. I think, but it is. I think, as I said, if the club are happy for him to, if the fan base see enough, and that was the issue always with Moyes. It was his way or it was one way or no way. So if it didn't work, that was it. There's no to fall back on. I think if you can see the club are progressing, if you can see a style of football progressing, if you can see an identity, because we haven't really got an identity, if you can see a team spirit, if you can see the academy players being implemented as and when required, I think we would give him the benefit of the doubt. But there'll be a section of the fan base who will be upset with this decision as well. There'll be some who still want David Moyes in the setup, and but I think we've taken quite a business-like approach to announcing it. Clara Boos are throwing a party on Twitter. Outperformed them. Fans think it is the level they should be in. Don't think so. Tim can start cooking now. Tim on the recruitment, dropping stars in from all over the world. Yep, I agree. Jay Lops is definitely more passionate, which is good, and a better manager. I think for us, we want. I mean, I don't know about for you, but for me, I loved the passion that someone like Alan Pardew had, or someone like a Slav, or someone who just on that touchline probably does f all in terms of the players, but from the fans, that's what you want. You want to feel someone's passionate and not necessarily slouched watching an iPad to see. I mean, I watched Alonso when Bayer Leverkusen came to West Ham, and he was so animated. He wanted a sub. He would run to the dugout and move straight away. We didn't have that with David. It's and that's not his style. Moyes should left on a high last season, but he was greedy. Again, I don't blame him. Shepherd, I'll ask you the question. If you're in a well-paid job, would you just go and leave?
No.
Thank you. From a 12-year-old girl. No.
No, you want the money.
Exactly. And it doesn't matter. It is a job. And I think sometimes that people do it for the love of... Yeah, he loves the game, but he's doing it because he's well paid. Yeah. And he's still there because he's well paid. And he hasn't left. So, because, that was Sullivan's decision, not Moyes. I wouldn't... I don't agree with that. So we're complaining about Loopy.
I know, I am.
Clearly, AA is watching something else, but he did, and I've spoken about that. He spoke very highly of him in his passion and his drive, and that was very early on in his tenure at Wolves. He'd only been who's that? That's Craig Dawson, Super Craig Dawson. Ballon Dawson. I love that Loopy is all an all-round manager, isn't stuck on his defensive. I mean, as I said, he had his defence. I mean, the first thing I think I want to do is sort out his defence, whoever comes in. Yeah. I just want players and fans to feel like it's a chore by playing or supporting the club. More man management. What's Daddy mate?
We didn't make dinner.
No, we had a kebab. A Monday kebab. We had a Monday kebab.
It's meant to be Friday, but
I know.
Out, so we had pizza.
We'll have to wait and see. Steak, yes, there was
very good.
Very good. It was very good.
Just were very yummy.
They were very good. And
mushrooms were very good.
And the asparagus was very good. This was very good.
Yeah, very good.
People can't moan about the board not being proactive. Well, I think
Moyes out.
I personally, Damien, think they were pushed into a corner to do this announcement today. Personally, but there we go. 80% of them walked out last year. I think your signing service is playing up. I think your she thinks we're doing like sign language on the side.
No,
Very
I'm
good,
trying to
Steve.
eat
You trying to what? Eat me? I'm glad that they're parting ways, but I do believe deserves our respect. And I think Gary, one of those things. I think when the dust settles, and we'll do a retrospective look. I think of Moyes in the summer, particularly when the new manager comes in. I think we'll look at things objectively. And Moore is the man. Yep, he plays out the back. Kilman will be brought in. Yep, Kilman's the first thing. Hope Moyes gets a good send off. Flo is making me laugh. Clearly, you don't watch a lot of comedy. You think that she's funny. Roast on Monday. Wow.
No. Wrong day.
I honestly think that he was not that bad this season. He did have a great time during his time at West Ham. Let's be honest. In this half, but it's done now, isn't it? It's done, and I say he's confirmed. And now we look to whether the club decide to make an announcement about about the head coach before the end of the season. I think this might cause a few people to renew their season tickets now, knowing that Moyes isn't going to be in charge. He's gone, Flo.
He's gone.
He has gone, yeah.
He's gone out the door.
He's not got out the door, but
he has.
He's leaving at the end of the season.
Well, when's that?
2 more games.
Well, he's leaving in 2 more games, so technically he's out the door.
News: West Ham have
he's halfway out
has signed terms. No, not going to happen. No ambition. Should have got Amorim. I think Liam, we tried, but clearly Amorim didn't fancy us. I don't think. Or he wanted an absolute ridiculous amount of money to break his contract from Sporting Lisbon as well. So again, I want someone who wants the job, because he'll try twice as hard than someone who's here for the money. Me too. Is it true going holiday? Not sure. Yes, I'm going on holiday. Yes, I'll be. Yes. Oh yeah, and Flo's coming along as well. Yes, we'll be going on holiday. Yes, and we'll watch it. Flo won't be, but I'll probably go and watch the Man City game.
I'm not going into that place.
Because they smoke, that's why.
I don't like that.
No idea. He did coach them to. He did. Nothing will. And also that season they got 4th, and they got a Champions League spot already. So they actually qualified for the Champions League twice in that season. Nothing will change whilst I was in charge. Yes, Flo, you are correct. But was it a barbecue yesterday?
I get that. Don't want to waste the food.
I think this channel needs an extra show. Flo's Hammer Hour.
Even though I don't know anything about it, I'll just talk. I'm great at waffling.
She likes waffles as well. Anyway, right, we're going to go. Keep it on the channel. Anything that comes up, we'll let you know as and when. Take care. Stay safe. Stay warm. Stay humble. Keep the faith. Don't forget, if you want peace out, don't forget to get your lovely for Father's Day. Get your West Ham, metal shirts. 25% off if you use the code WHN25 of Alloy Collectors. All that good stuff. And until that time, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith.
Peace out.
Come on, you irons.
Oh, yeah, I have to do that, don't I?
That's it. No, not like that. It's like that. It's an eye. It's a cross. That's it.
Peace out, guys.
Peace out, motherfuckers.
Peace